I never dreamed that my 5-year-old genius son would secretly send out my resume and land me a job at the biggest corporation in the city. But here's the twist. On my very first day, the CEO publicly humiliates me, calling me a gold digger who freeloaded in his mansion for 5 years. And it all traces back to that drugged night 5 years ago. That night, my vicious cousin Vivian drugged me, planning to hand me over to some old man. But I accidentally stumbled into a stranger's room. I had no idea who he was. All I remembered was that wild, blurred night. The next morning I left alone, unaware that the man, now the CEO, Ethan, had sent someone to pick me up. But his bodyguard mistook my cousin Vivian for me and brought her back to his estate instead. And just like that, Vivian stole my place, enjoying 5 years of luxury without a second thought. Meanwhile, I discovered I was pregnant shortly after. With no clue who the father was, I dropped out of school, worked odd jobs, and raised my son alone ever since. To survive, I endured humiliation at work during the day, and sang at bars at night. 5 years later, when I saw CEO Ethan for the first time at the company, I was floored. He was my son's biological father. But the way he looked at me, pure contempt and disgust. He thought I was the woman who had been living like a queen, and wasting his money all those years, and that I joined the company just to chase him again. Without any investigation based only on a few lies from old employees, he decided to fire me. I had no way to defend myself. How could I explain that I was the real girl from 5 years ago? And how could I explain that the woman who'd been living in his mansion all that time wasn't me at all? All I could do was pull out my design drafts and surveillance footage to prove I wasn't just some lazy good-for-nothing. My counterattack left him deeply shaken. He couldn't wrap his head around how a woman his staff described as vulgar could have such stunning design talent. Until one day downstairs at the company, he accidentally saw my son coming to bring me an umbrella. His best friend blurted out, "Ethan, this kid looks exactly like you." Staring at my son's face, a mirror image of his own, Ethan went completely still. A chilling thought exploded in his mind. If I was the real girl from 5 years ago, then who the hell had been living in his house all these years?